Good evening. How y'all doing today? This is your boy Joseph Thoughts in the building. Right now I'm on set with Walter and family. I'm gonna be asking them some serious questions that the public should know about what they're trying to do during this pandemic. Bless it.
Standing, right?
When you know Kevin will be real with him.
That's his friend. You know what I mean? But I just feel like Kevin and Nita are just as important or just as funny as Walter is.
Equally, yo.
Yeah, like truly co-stars.
I mean, I think that Nita and Kevin's character has really good chemistry. I think they relate to each other like as true friends would. Like they're free with each other and being who they are, each character's development. And I will look forward to seeing how they, they may have some sort of interaction where one has to depend on the other one to do something to show how they, interact. You know what I mean? And just how he has really, truly, Kevin, the rent man, has become, an integral part of, Walter's family unit.
I got nothing to add to that, really. I mean, I think that's pretty much what it is. I show up in the first few episodes, I ask for rent. That's the entirety of my scenes, and the next thing you know, I'm comfortable enough in the home to do what I do to the trash can. And so yeah, like clearly he's getting closer and closer. Even I think he refers to Niecy as his niece or something in one episode, and
he walks in without a key. That's not like you gotta be.
Yeah.
Like you walk into a black person's house and you don't knock. Like you family. And I mean, like when we were speaking on the difference between Devon Cooper and Walter and where they come from, we don't even go into the backstory yet. But it's like when you look at where Devon Cooper come from, that don't happen. Mm-hmm. Nobody walks into your house unannounced. Like I don't even know if my grandmother has ever walked into my house without knocking.
That's true. That's very true.
What inspired you to become an actor?
I used to do plays in church and different productions and things like that. And I've always liked singing and acting. I think acting is my favorite. I feel like with acting I can convey a wider range of emotions. With Nita, most of her things are bordering on being really happy, really content, or being aggravated with something that her husband has done that she's going to have to try to get him out of or prevent him from doing to create a mess. So, but I'm interested to see how Nita's character is going to get to portray maybe a wider range of emotion, but I love Nita's character, and I look forward to playing her. She's fun for me. She keeps Walter in check.
Absolutely.
Do you feel like she got a lot in common with Arditra though?
I don't know. To a point, I don't know that as Walter the character, I don't know that him and Arditra would ever have hooked up, because he probably would have got on Arditra's nerves way too much, and she would have been like, "Nah, dude, I can't even do it." But I think they are the same in the way that they relate to certain situations. Like certain situations, they happen, and Nita's just like,
cause she know how to deal with.
Yeah, she's just like, I don't even like, where do you even go from here? She finds herself trying to come up with words or wisdom or speak to calm a situation down. And I think that Arditra probably just would be like, let it burn. Arditra would be just like, I ain't in that. My name is Wes and I ain't in that mess. So I think Nita is more of a peacemaker than Arditra is. Arditra is just like, deuces, I ain't in that.
Y'all bring balance.
Right. Absolutely.
All right, Miss Melody.
Mamie relates to me in real life because she gives like real life advice. There was a situation where Nita said she was pregnant and then she felt like it wasn't that serious, and Mamie let her know that a baby is important. So and also just the dancing and just having a lot of energy. I think that relates to.
Oh, so Melanie here dancing now.
Hey, drop like it's hot.
She discovered that now that she got the Manny character. She couldn't dance before.
Wow.
I'm just playing.
Indeed.
Yeah, but I honestly, just from, if you don't mind, if I chime in on that, cause
Absolutely. Go ahead.
like, cause it's gonna be questions because Manny somehow ended up being a part of the family as well. You know, when she was just a dance instructor. But it's like when you know, sometimes you do the small things like just show a family you can be there, then all of a sudden you in a circle. You know, so now you seeing, you know, Melanie's character, Manny Moore, and she's standing in the kitchen, she's willing to clean, cook. When in the first episode you saw her in, you know, Nita like, hold on, what Walter's gonna have you cooking in my kitchen? You know what I'm saying? Which is any woman, right? They like, hold on now, you ain't turning no spatulas up in here. You know what I'm saying? Without my permission. So it's like now she referring to her as her friend, even though Nita's still kind of like turning her eyebrow up at her. You know, like I don't really know if I can trust you like that. But she being there as a friend that Nita hasn't really shown to have yet.
That's true. That's very interesting.
I mean,
So basically, you feel that they gradually building a bond.
possibly. I mean, because you don't see Nita have, like, she get into it with Pam up the street, right? But you don't see Nita having a real friend other than Walter. So who is her outlet? Because her husband jokes all the time.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And I mean, you still ain't went into Walter's background to see, like, why he doing what he doing. Because a lot of times, you know, people joke just to hide the frown.
That's true.
You
The
get what
hide
I'm
the
saying?
pain that they going through.
So, you know, what is Walter really going through that he hide with the comedy?
Who inspired you to be an actor?
My uncle. I used to always, every time I used to see his shows on YouTube or something, I would ask him, Uncle, can I be in it? Uncle, can I be in it? And then he was like, you gotta get older and then I'll let you be in it. And I was like, I want to act. I was like, if I can dance, I can sing, I can do more things like my uncle. So I just thought I can act just like my uncle.
It made me feel good.
Absolutely.
Because most people think it's my daughter anyway. So I got to explain to him it's my niece. You know?
Wow.
But yeah, she was asking me about roles. And I think it was one time we did Iniquity.
Yeah.
And it was a young girl her age that played it. And I was like, man, because like, it was so perfect how it fell in place. But then, you know, in my mind, I was like, I didn't know if Zari was ready. The other girl wasn't ready, but her mom was like, you know, really wanting her to be a part of it. So she ended up being on set, and we needed somebody to actually play that role in the show called Iniquity. So I ended up giving the young girl the role, but then in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh man, my niece gonna see this and she's gonna be mad.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I don't know if she ever saw it, but it's like, it made me feel good when she said I inspired her because, you know, I mean, obviously a lot of people come up, they ain't never had somebody who owned a business or doing film production and like really moving with it, trying to make some things happen. So it's like, just like she was inspired by the idea of her being in something of mine, you know, I was inspired by, you know, the first person I saw doing a movie that was in my neighborhood. Because I mean, that's not something you saw.
Absolutely.
And I was grown when I first seen that.
Oh man, depends on if you're talking about like Hollywood or the indies, I think. Because I think Hollywood still plays to the, you gotta have a certain look, you know. I'm not gonna go to LA and get a dramatic role because I'm fat, right? But when you talk about indies, somebody like Yvonne Cooper, who, like, yeah, most of the stuff I've appeared in, I've been in a comedy role, which is what you expect of the fat white guy. But like, he's also given me a chance to play something a little bit more serious, like in the last film he did, Silent Grace. I didn't say anything funny, you know? And so I think that it really depends on where you want to go with it. If you want to be an indie actor, it just takes talent. And if you want to be a Hollywood actor, you know, you got to be Brad Pitt. that's what it takes.
Can I add something to that?
Absolutely.
Because I think like that's part of it too. Like, comedy don't really have an image. You know, where comedy is subjective. So I gotta be able to put my pride aside. Because somebody come to me and say, well, you think you the star. Like, obviously I don't think I'm a star because I just got done arguing that Walter is just a co-star with Nita, the kids, Kevin, everybody, right? But some people will have to put their pride aside and say, man, I had 10 people come up to me this week and say, man, who is that big white guy? Man, he funny as shit. So now you got to figure out a way to get him in it more and less of Walter, or equal to, because it's that many people who think he's funny. If you want your show to be successful, you got to give people what they want.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So when he speak about like Hollywood and certain images they want, it used to be like you couldn't be a model unless you was tall and
Skinny.
yeah. So now you're seeing women with more, with a little bit more in their bodies and stuff like that, which I think is absolutely wonderful.
They eating collard greens.
They eating chitlins or something, But whatever it is, it's working. Keep it up, ladies. I love the beauty. Like however it comes. Like you don't have to look at somebody sexually to say that they're beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like I should be able to look at another guy and say, man, he take care of himself. That's respect. So the first time I have a role where I need somebody like that, I don't have to play that role. I got somebody else I can bring in. It don't matter how they look, you know what I mean? So if you got a fat white guy look like he gonna sit on the wall like Humpty Dumpty, you know what I'm saying? It's a perfect, I'm messing with him. But it's a role. It's a role for that person, and it don't always have to be stereotyped.
True indeed.
I think the one when I came in and I was like giant cantaloupe. I think that one was funny.
Everybody laughed at that. That was funny because it was like, he come in nervous on every scene before that, and then he walk in with that energy and was like, oh damn, giant cantaloupe. So when the camera showing Kevin, then it's like, damn, did he just say that? You know what I mean? But he's street, in the show, so he walk in and say anything.
Like that.
And then Lucy, how do you balance school?
Well, I do virtual, so I just try to do my best, and I'm on my own pace, so I don't gotta go in different classes to go do school, so I can take naps and do my work whenever I want, but just have it turned in by a certain time. So when we film on Sundays, my mom was trying to make me go straight to sleep, eat, take a shower, and go straight to sleep, so I can have full energy on that Monday to do my work on virtual.
Like 5 o'clock in the PM is like bedtime.
Oh God. Is it hard to try to find time to study your lines and do your homework, or is that not?
Well, no, because it's on my phone, and I'm on my phone all the time, so I just take my time to be on my phone. And just,
You do your classwork on your phone?
No, she's saying her.
I have my
script.
phone right there by my
your
computer
script.
all the time, so I just get on my phone when we on Zoom meetings. They ain't talking about nothing, so I just do my work. I mean, I just look at my lines, because I just be talking about pets and animals.
I watch Rainey Jr. They're playing
Then she
Power.
gonna know what I do then. Did she see it?
What's it, how you say his name?
Michael?
I like Michael Rainey Jr. Like I like him a lot, and I'm a big fan of Power. But he's been in homeschool since he was like kindergarten. But like his mom, I watched him do an interview, and his mom was talking about how she loved it, and like how, people was telling him he shouldn't have been doing that or something like that. Y'all had to look it up. But he wouldn't be where he at. He wouldn't be able to travel like with the cast and crew if he was going to school physically. But like she just felt like he was learning everything he needed to know with the people that he was in the show with.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I just thought that was kind of cool when she mentioned she doing that and she able to balance the school, with doing the show, because that's gonna show your sincerity. Like other producers, myself or anybody, they gonna want to know how you gonna make that happen, because they ain't gonna want to play games. So it's like who's serious and who not.
True indeed.
Kevin Hart, cause he funny, he do comedy and stuff.
So you the next Kevin Hart? That's what you telling me?
Maybe, probably.
True indeed.
Like his mindset is really just like focused on football, like mine was today. This is like, so the crazy part is like, people don't know like, with her being my niece and then that's my son. So then, you look at the show where they both my kids. So then like, these are different avenues that opens up for them. So like she may be passionate about acting. He may thought he was passionate about acting, but then it's like you want to play football too, but it's like what they always say, what you gonna fall back on.
Exactly. You have a plan of action.
Yeah, so then you look back and be like, dang, I didn't even realize that, my dad was teaching me the business. He was teaching me, how to create other opportunities.
Can you rephrase that question?
Oh man.
felt like that.
And he's so intelligent,
he
you know what I'm
intelligent,
saying?
He did the right thing. And you rephrase it. What would you like to see happen during the series with your character?
Play football more with Juicy.
Indeed. What's your favorite position in football?
Linebacker.
Oh,
Get rocked any day.
any day.
You see what I'm saying?
Gangster.
You know? I thought he answered something. I knew that, but I thought he answered something like, you know, at least like, you know, become part of the family because he's trying to get with my daughter.
Right. That kind of surprised.
You know what I'm saying? But I knew he wanted more football scenes and stuff. You know what I mean? It'll come. Cause again, he's family with me in real life, so it's like I know where their mind is at. You know what I mean? So their characters kind of fall in line with what they stand for right now in real life. But you know they're doing a good job at this as well. So it opens up so many avenues. But I'm trying to get them to focus on this more too because your natural athletic ability that ain't going nowhere.
Like, to put Kevin as like a real person, I think he's somebody who's lonely. You know, he's probably somebody who hasn't had a lot of friends throughout his life, and you know, he finds this tenant in Walter, and they end up getting close, and he starts having this respect and this newfound friendship that he's probably never experienced, and he starts having this confidence, I think, that he's probably never experienced through what he learns from Walter. And you know, I think that that's one of the reasons why he's, you know, so goofy and why he's willing, especially early on, the first few seasons, you don't really see him, or the first few episodes, excuse me, you don't really see him fire back at Walter, you know. But here, the last couple of episodes that have come out, he definitely has something to say whenever Walter's got some quippy thing to say, you know, Kevin's coming right back. And so I think he's getting more comfortable, like, this man doesn't hate me, you know, this is just what it's like to be in a close friendship. Because I know, me personally in real life, that's something I do with my friends, you know, I don't know at the times I've called them, you know, an idiot or whatever, you know, but then let somebody else call that person an idiot. You know, it's going to be on. But yeah, I think that's Kevin. I think it's just somebody who's not really had friends and he's lonely, you know, like he doesn't know how to flirt with people. Clearly, he does not know how to flirt with people. You know, blows a whole rent check on trying to pick women up or something in an episode. So, you know, I don't know.
People do that.
I guess, you know, I'm not one to do that. But yeah, I think that's the kind of person that he is, you know, and definitely somebody who I think wants to be more outspoken and more, what's the word I'm looking for, extroverted. Whereas he's probably been forced to being an introvert throughout most of his life just due to not having close friendships and things like that.
True indeed. Last question for Mr. Devon. What is your vision for Walter and family in the future?
Major numbers. I mean, because like for me, you want all the late night hours of writing, casting people, the people that's putting the time to, you know, receive a reward for all their blood, sweat, and tears. You know, any time that you put into this stuff, you want it to be you want it to be a positive outcome. And I mean, nothing for me is gonna be better than, not to say everything is all about money, but you want people to be able to live their dream doing this. So, I mean, if we're not doing it for it to go as far as it can go, then we're doing it for the wrong reasons. You know, so my whole thing is making this a classic. You know, right now it has the potential, but we want it to be something that, you know, people can look back at and say, man, they did something great.
Absolutely.
And then they be talking about us in the same categories as your Jeffersons, you know, your Martin Lawrence, Jamie Foxx.
Family Matters.
These boys gonna be playing in the NFL one day, but then you look back and say, just like now you can look at Drake, you know what I mean, and say, oh, he played in Degrassi. You know what I'm saying? And he's not known for that. You might even look at him now and say he can't act. I don't know. I don't know what his reputation in the acting industry is, but you know, it's like he done that before. So that's a door that he can probably walk in one day. You know what I'm saying? So that's my mindset for this thing, is for it to, you know, go as far as possible and just open as many doors as I can for everybody sitting here. You know what I mean?
True indeed.
I would like Nita's character to develop a friendship with Manny. I think that needs to be explored because I think Nita is very closed off. I don't think she has like friends.
Me.
I think her whole world is her family. And I would like for her to have a friend that she can talk to. I would also like to see her doing something of her own, maybe a home-based business or something like that, so that she can start to kind of explore other avenues, you know, other than just being a wife and being a mom, even though she doesn't have to. And I think that may be why she's so closed off, because she doesn't have any sort of anything else going on except her, you know, family unit. Her core family unit is all she has. So I would like for her to get some options, maybe outside the house, maybe a home-based business that brings her into contact, you know, with different vendors or different, you know, situations that she may not have necessarily found herself in, that she has to figure out how to negotiate and navigate around. Because in her mind, Walter is a lunatic. But what if she has a home-based business and she find out it ain't just him? You know, it's people way worse than him out here, you know, acting crazy and doing all kinds of silly stuff.
More as an athlete, like I already did like scenes of me doing push-ups and stuff. Like I hope to see more of that, like more training in football.
Indeed. Mr. Contrell, where do you see your character going?
Same thing like how Dayan said. I want to do more like sports stuff with Dayan, stuff like that.
Truly.
I'd like to see him continue going down this almost mimicking Walter and how he interacts with people for a while, realizing that just doesn't work, and then just start being more and more himself over time. You know, that obviously a long-term goal, because that's, you don't want something like that to move too fast. But the way he tries to find love and acceptance, you know, I'd like to see him realize that that's just not it. You know, that's not how you do it.
I agree with Nita. I would like to see Manny and Nita's relationship get closer, get her out the house more, and just be around like the kids and stuff more, just help around with stuff like that.
I would say dancing and singing, since that's what I do now, and I would like to dance more and sing more.
I heard you sing like Whitney Houston. Is that true?
I guess so. I've been singing since I was little, my mama and my pastor. So.
Indeed.
And then he called me Nelly. So I'm like, oh, you like Band-Aids? You know what I mean? I'm gonna Band-Aid you up, because you like I get into that right there, because it's like, you know, I'm overprotective over all the women in my circle already. So you get a little bit of divine in that.
Exactly. So
You know,
you already like that in real life.
Yeah, then you get Kenny come through, you think he tough. You know what I'm saying? I think he childish, he ignorant. You know what I'm saying? He's sad, somebody need to whoop on him. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're gonna get with my daughter,
You know how to fight.
you gotta know how to fight. Who best to find out you can fight? Against
Than
her
the
daddy.
Indeed.
The daddy that
Got knocked out. I just, you know, that's the thing, you know, and I box amateur, you know what I mean? I don't, if you get a whooping, you take a whooping. And that's rough, like I said, putting the pride aside, because it's like when you're trying to separate real from what's fiction, but yet keep your fiction kind of authentic. Easily my pride can say, come on man, ain't no divine, you ain't finna just take no whooping. But Walter, you know, you would tell Walter like, hey man, I hit him 12 times, Nita. But he landed that one punch.
That was a knockout.
But in Walter's mind,
he won.
I won.
Because he going more on quantity than quality. Apparently.
Yeah. If I hit you 12 times, you hit me once. Technically, before we say that one punch knocked him out, 12 punch to one sound better, don't it?
Indeed.
right? It's just that one punch, his chin just didn't hold up. You know what I mean? So listen, man. I want to say this. You love what people bring to the table because everybody has a gift, their own individual gift, and I want to see like all the work we putting in turn into something great. And I just don't even feel like we working that hard yet. Like we really gonna show them eventually, like going into season 2 when it's a little bit more of a marketing support, bigger numbers, something that motivates us more. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it'd be easier even for the kids to go to work when they got 30,000 kids at school saying, "Oh, I seen you in this show." Ain't that cool?
Indeed.
Water.